Hey there, fellow gardeners. It's your friend from Ruthhaven Grounds, and I need to tell you about something that completely transformed my gardening game. I'm talking about a discovery so powerful that my neighbors actually stopped me on the street to ask what on earth I was doing differently. My tomatoes were bursting off the vines, my peppers were producing like crazy, and even my struggling squash plants suddenly became unstoppable. The secret? A mysterious black liquid teeming with beneficial microbes that quite literally brought my soil back to life. Now, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing when I first heard about it. Another gardening miracle cure? Yeah, right. But stick with me here, because what I'm about to share isn't snake oil or marketing hype. This is about understanding how nature actually works beneath our feet and harnessing that power to create the thriving garden you've always dreamed of. The black microbe liquid I'm referring to is actively aerated compost tea, sometimes called AACT, in gardening circles. Think of it as a probiotic smoothie for your soil, except instead of helping your gut, it's supercharging the entire underground ecosystem that your plants depend on. This isn't just dirty water, my friends. It's a concentrated solution packed with billions of beneficial bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes that work together to transform your garden from the ground up. When I first brewed my batch, I was amazed at how simple the process was and how quickly I saw results. Within 2 weeks of my first application, I noticed my plants had a vigor I'd never seen before. The leaves were darker green, the stems were thicker, and new growth was emerging faster than I could keep track of. But the real magic happened at harvest time when I pulled carrots twice the size of my previous crops and picked enough beans to feed my entire block. Here's something most gardening guides won't tell you. You can have perfect soil composition, ideal pH levels, and all the nutrients in the world, but if you don't have the right microbial life, your plants can't access most of those nutrients. It's kinda like having a fully stocked pantry, but no key to open the door. Modern gardening practices, chemical fertilizers, and even city water with chlorine have systematically destroyed the beneficial microbes that should naturally exist in healthy soil. I learned this the hard way after years of adding expensive fertilizers and amendments while getting, honestly, just mediocre results. The problem wasn't what I was adding, it was that my soil was essentially dead, unable to process and deliver nutrients to my plants efficiently. The microbial community in healthy soil performs countless functions that we, really take for granted. They break down organic matter into plant-available nutrients, protect roots from pathogens, improve soil structure, retain moisture, and even communicate with plants to help them respond to stress. Without these microscopic helpers, you're essentially gardening with one hand tied behind your back. Let me walk you through exactly how I make this garden-transforming liquid at home. The process is surprisingly straightforward, and once you get the hang of it, you'll be brewing batches regularly throughout the growing season. You'll need a 5-gallon bucket, an aquarium air pump with an airstone dechlorinated water, high-quality compost unsulfured molasses, and about 24 to 36 hours of brewing time. Fill your bucket with water and let it sit overnight if you're using tap water, allowing the chlorine to evaporate. If you're in a hurry, you can add a small amount of vitamin C to neutralize the chlorine immediately. Add about 2 to 3 cups of finished compost to the water. This is your microbial starter, so quality matters here. I use my own well-aged compost, but you can also purchase vermicompost or a quality compost from a trusted source. Then add 2 tablespoons of unsulfured molasses, which serves as food for the microbes, encouraging them to multiply rapidly during the brewing process. Drop in your airstone connected to the pump and let it bubble away. The aeration is crucial because the beneficial microbes we want are aerobic, meaning they need oxygen to thrive. During my first attempt, I made the mistake of not aerating properly, and I ended up with an anaerobic brew that smelled like a swamp. Trust me, you want the good stuff, which should smell earthy and pleasant, not putrid. After about 24 to 36 hours, your compost tea is ready. It should be dark, frothy, and smell like rich forest soil. Use it immediately for maximum benefit, because the microbes start dying off once you stop aerating. The way you apply this black liquid makes all the difference between good results and absolutely explosive growth. I've experimented extensively at Ruthhaven grounds, and I found that both soil drenching and foliar spraying deliver incredible benefits, but they work differently. For soil application, I dilute the tea at a ratio of about 1 part tea to 5 parts water, though you can use it stronger if your soil is particularly depleted. I apply it directly to the soil around the base of plants, making sure to thoroughly saturate the root zone. This introduces beneficial microbes directly where they're needed most. I do this every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season, and honestly, the results speak for themselves. Foliar spraying is where things get really interesting, so you'll want to dilute the tea even more, about 1 part tea to 10 parts water, and then spray it directly on the leaves. This creates a protective barrier of beneficial microbes that outcompete harmful pathogens, and, yeah, they can even be absorbed through the leaf stomata. I spray early morning or evening to avoid burning the leaves in direct sunlight, and I make sure to coat both the tops and undersides of leaves. One application technique that gave me particularly impressive results was combining soil drenching right after transplanting. The young plants establish so much faster than usual, with virtually no transplant shock. Their root systems exploded into the surrounding soil within days, rather than weeks. You might be wondering if my 10 times harvest claim is exaggeration, and I'll be honest, results vary depending on your starting point. But here's the thing. If your soil was depleted and lacking beneficial microbes like mine was, the improvement can genuinely be that dramatic. The science is solid. When you introduce billions of beneficial microbes to your soil, several things happen simultaneously. Bacteria break down nitrogen and other nutrients into forms plants can readily absorb. Mycorrhizal fungi extend your plant's root systems by orders of magnitude, allowing them to access water and nutrients far beyond their physical roots. Protozoa consume bacteria and release nitrogen in plant-available forms. The whole system becomes a perfectly orchestrated symphony of life. Beyond nutrient availability, the microbes also produce plant growth hormones, improve soil structure by creating aggregates, suppress disease organisms through competition and antibiosis, and help plants tolerate environmental stresses like drought and temperature fluctuations. It's not one single benefit, but rather a cascade of improvements that compound over time. Let me save you from the mistakes I made during my learning curve. First, never use chlorinated water without dechlorinating it first. Chlorine will kill the very microbes you're trying to cultivate. Temperature matters too. If your water is too hot during brewing, above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll kill many beneficial microbes. Too cold, below 60 degrees, and reproduction slows dramatically. I aim for around 70 to 75 degrees for optimal results. Also, don't store brewed compost tea. Use it within a few hours of finishing the brew. The microbes need oxygen and food to survive, and once you stop aerating, they begin dying off rapidly. I've made the mistake of brewing a large batch, thinking I'd use it over several days, only to end up with dead microbe soup. After implementing this black microbe liquid into my regular gardening routine here at Ruthhaven grounds, I honestly can't imagine going back to my old methods. The difference isn't subtle, it's profound, observable, and absolutely thrilling for anyone who loves watching plants thrive. The beauty of this approach is that it works with nature rather than against it. You're not forcing your plants to grow with synthetic chemicals, you're creating the conditions where they naturally explode with vitality. And the best part, once you establish a healthy microbial community in your soil, it becomes self-sustaining, requiring less intervention over time. So here's my challenge to you. Brew your first batch this weekend. Start with just a few plants if you're skeptical, and just watch what happens over the next few weeks. Document your results, take photos, and come back to share your experience with our Ruthhaven grounds community. If this article has opened your eyes to the incredible world beneath your garden soil, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos and articles where I'll be diving even deeper into building thriving, productive gardens naturally. Share this with your gardening friends who are struggling to get the harvests they dream about. Together we're building a community of gardeners who understand that the real magic happens in the soil, one microbe at a time. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next one.